Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a multiplayer first-person shooter developed and published by Valve. Yes, this is my small, very short review of an extremely popular game with over 1 million reviews on Steam. I wanted to make this review because after the CSGO gambling scandal, I wanted to actually focus on what I really like about this game, because I personally started to enjoy it this year, because I played it for many hours the last couple of years, but I didn't really get into it. But recently I started playing it again and actually got pretty good at the game, and I started to enjoy it even more, especially competitively. So what is Counter-Strike? If you never heard of it, which is very hard in my opinion, well, the two main game modes are Hostage Rescue and Bomb Planting. And there are always two teams, counter-terrorists and terrorists. In the hostage rescue, the counter-terrorists have to rescue at least one hostage that's being held captive by the terrorists, and in the bomb planting mission, the terrorists have to plant a bomb while the counter-terrorists are trying to defuse them or to kill the entire terrorist team. And there are also other game modes like Deathmatch, Demolition, Arms Race, and I do like them, but I prefer to stick especially to competitive mode because it's 5 versus 5, friendly fire is on. It takes even 60-70 minutes to complete. It's very tough, it's very adrenaline fueled, and I do like it very much. And the game is a mixture of both luck and skills, especially luck in my opinion, because at the beginning of each round you can buy different weapons. If you die, you lose that weapon and you have to rebuy it every single time. And I think that everyone should first of all try to use every single weapon against bots before going into the actual game, because playing against bots you will get the hang of how every single weapon feels, and then you will start to stick with them for the rest of your entire CSGO career. Personally, I prefer the AWP, which is the most powerful sniper rifle ever, that almost every other player uses or even abuses. The Nova, the shotgun, really powerful but really shitty at long range. The Mac-10, and also other weapons that they use once in a while, but these are the ones that I prefer the most. And the thing that will make or break the game for you is the aiming, because it is incredibly sensitive. It's not accurate at all. If you point at someone, you shoot one shot, it will land there. The second shot will enter a completely different place. So this also makes the classic spray and pray kind of gameplay not work at all. And it actually requires either to have a really good sniper on your team, or people that use shotguns or pistols, weapons that are more accurate when shooting, because otherwise you are not going to hit the enemies very often. And the best way to shoot accurately is to crouch. But by crouching, it's easier that you will get hit in the head by a hip fire. So this mixes strategy and luck quite a lot. And honestly, if you're not into games that mostly rely on luck, because a lot of players, there is still this kind of argument about this game, is it more about luck or is it more about skills? In my opinion, it's kind of both, but mostly luck. And yes, whenever you finish a match you will get experience points, they will upgrade your rank, they will give you even skins for weapons that you can even sell on various marketplaces. That's fine, but I just like to play the game. That's something that not a lot of people appreciate. There is this whole market around buying skins. The skins don't change anything except how your weapon looks, because I don't care really. All the skins that I have are the ones that I got for free and that I can sell for just 1 cent, which is not a lot. So I think this is a very solid game. It looks even damn fine nowadays. It's not excellently looking, but it works very well. It's very smooth. There are a lot of players, both good and bad, and there is a real problem with the community in my opinion, because you do have some really nice players, really good players, that will accept you for who you are. But if you're playing on a competitive match and you're the last player alive and you don't defuse the bomb because you're too focused on actually trying to kill the ones guarding the bomb, you will probably get kicked by some asshole that's on the same server, that's on the same team as you. Why? Because you weren't going to defuse the bomb. There were people guarding it, they were shooting at me. What do? I just go there and die? No, I try to shoot them first. And you get kicked nonetheless, and that's really terrible. You will get kicked a lot, especially if you try to be a kind and cool-minded person, because there are a lot of kids whining and bitching, but there are also nice players, so it's a very mixed bag on that. But still, I do think that if you like multiplayer shooters, but you don't like the more generic aspects of them, something like Call of Duty, if you're not into that and you prefer something a little bit more strategic and challenging, that doesn't require someone to just go around, keep moving and shoot everyone, use cover to have more health, whatever, you have to play Counter-Strike Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's an excellent first-person shooter, very fun to play with friends, and I do recommend checking it out. It's one of the most popular games on Steam, and for good reason. The community is kinda shitty, I'm sorry, that's the truth, but you will also find some really nice players on it. And a lot of Russian players. A lot of Russians. But still, guys, if you played Counter-Strike Global Offensive, do you like it, do you dislike it, or do you like another game of the Counter-Strike franchise? Personally, I prefer Counter-Strike Source, but this one is just as fun. Thanks for this watch, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.